Welcome to the mission in Briancon, France. Take off and follow the road south towards St. Crepin and on to Embrun.
That's not so. Hey, stream seems to be going good. I think I settled down here and stopped moving around so much in a little bit. It's just on the first leg of this thing. And I think I'm gathering my laurels here. And ouch. Blur. Yuck. Yeah, a few glitches. Should settle in though. Section there's bad. I didn't notice. Better. Anyway, if anybody's showing up, I'm not quite sure yet. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're all having a good day. I haven't done a video in quite a while for Flight Simulator. About American Truck Simulator. November, been kind of hooked on it. Yeah, I like this scenery. It even looks better from a little higher. You know, we're pretty close to the ground in this ultralight, so that's not bad for being that close. Pretty close to the ground. Whipping. If you think this is cool, like to see more of France stuff, please give a like. I need some, you know, we all need to get that algorithm, start recognizing somebody's here to add to the communities. I want to mention something, you know, as is, you know, everybody actually knows the technicals of why it could be so, you know, or advantages and disadvantages of Photoreal. As they flatten out and stuff when you get close to the bottom, or to the surface. Oh, right up here, coming up here, as far as the video, you know. this is a good example of what you have to be aware of and be careful about with when people have created missions and they place things in certain areas, and then you've got, I have all of these the satellite corrections for all the elevations, and plus the Photoreal itself has its own, and this mission, and like many others, were written with the default scenery. So what you're looking at right in front here is this airport there is to the left, and you're going to see in a second here where I go ahead and put up the mission pointer for just a second. There you go. That by default, the airport, it's way over there, like 300 feet, or I don't know, 50 yards. What you're looking at there in front is a couple of tents and some bleachers where crowds are waiting for us to come down, and we're supposed to do a touch and go. But if you land, and then some of them you have to, depending on how they're programmed, sometimes you have to hit the green markers where they originally meant you to be. And that's usually, I think it's because when they're using actual coordinates. This one, I think, is using something to do with the airport name. So when I first did this, I couldn't get this thing to register that I've got here and move on to the next one. But in this one, it turns out that even though the airport would be running through here invalidly, the correct airport is over there, and once I go through the correct airport, it will note that I'm there. So I just kind of show that here that I'm, well, I don't know, kind of flying through where they would have had me fly through, and then I'm just going to turn around and go back, and then the crowd's going to recognize us. So that's something to note for people who are unfamiliar with issues between missions and add-on missions and add-on scenery. What can occur? Some cases, I've been able to edit the XMLs, but I'm not that knowledgeable. It's pretty limited. I think on one of them it was where you'll get some scenarios when you do a mission and you've got corrected elevations or other photoreal textures, that the mission you'll be landed right into the middle of a building and immediately crash or something. So sometimes you have to edit the XMLs in the missions to change that initial landing spot. Oh, lag, huh? Is it continuing? I think it's on your side right now because I'm watching it on another machine and I'm not seeing lag. It's going right now. But thank you for DK Gamer for letting me know. I don't know what I can do about it right now.
Okay.
Again,
now
my monitoring machine.
Follow the road mainly in a valley to the next point of interest.
They just bought X.11. Awesome. Nice. Yeah, I want to get one copy of that too. But my first priorities is new PC, because this is a quad-core Q9650, the fastest of the quad-core Core 2, you know, era. But DDR2 memory is limited on the, you know, the motherboard's LGA 775, limited to 8 gig of DDR2, and that's where I think the bottleneck is, to where I have difficulties. I can't really stream in anything that's really heavy duty, because everything works fine. I mean, the machine works great, but it just maxes the streaming, puts it over the limit, and we would be chopping, chop. That's why I'm right now. I don't know, for a while I had a certain amount working, but every time, you know, I mean, I can do some if there's really not much going on. Maybe if I just go way up high in the sky with jets, I can do that. I think I will be doing more of that. I haven't done much jet stuff, and like I do. I have you know, the FS passengers, and I have a career going on that thing, and I can get some really good. The Photo-real works really good if you're, you know, certain high-end jets, and that doesn't take as much stuff. It doesn't take as much resources away. But when I'm low to the ground and with stuff like this, would not. We would be just chop. So this, I've actually had to record it first, and now I'm streaming it up there to get it up on YouTube. Yeah, occasionally I have 65 as far as TK, as far as the lag in. Yeah, Comcast. I have done a test and I have 60. My upload speed is 6500K, and I only tell it to use 4, I think. I might have even put it back down to 35. I think I'm only using 4 though. I think I'm using 4. And occasionally, you know, it just our connection, I don't know, gets traffic or booted up, or you know, booted out of the line. I don't know. Oh, thank you very much, DK Gamer. Awesome. I'll check out your channel too, man. I always do that. I'm definitely one of those. I still believe we need to, you know, everybody. It's good for people to do that, and it's over time people start saying, "Oh no," you know. But we should always help each other out. I was checking out. I think Heathrow's on there right now, and I kind of wasn't gonna. I think he's almost done. Wasn't gonna stream because he's on there. But I always go to his channel and watch things when I get it all the time. He does some nice stuff that's just real, you know, when he travels around, real planes and. So yeah, it's decided that it, you know, just maxes out. I gotta get me that darn i7. Get me a new computer. And this is 2 GTX 770s SLI'd together, and it's I upgraded those because I thought they would help. When I had some older ones, I think I had, I even had older ones, you know, it really didn't improve that much. When I look at the specs of all the, noticing the video cards and all that stuff, you know, it appears to me that there's only 2 models now that have really did the increase, that had the big jump in performance, and that's like 980s and the 1080s, right? I thought, you know, of course, because they had marketed it that way, that 770s and all that were pretty darn fast, and I got the 256-bit bus and all that. But you look at the real specs on them, they're not that great. I'm in Denmark and the clock is, I think Denmark, so I have to go. Bye, thank you. Have a great night. I mean, it's like late. Stop by again. I gotta have a snack. I'm starving. Just a tiny bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, this is gonna get better. This thing just gets better and better. I do blow it in one spot, I think. We'll see how this. You know, one time I did, you know, they always tell you on the water, on your settings, that not to put the water at the very highest, at the max, do it at that 2 times or whatever, which is the second to the highest setting. One time I went ahead and did it, and I was actually in like Hawaii with Photo-real, and I had to say it really made some of these pools of water look really cool and real, even better than this looks, but it's too bad. It's the main thing is it's such a hog. I turn off though. I'm hoping that when you get more powerful PC, that in some cases, in some places, it's worthwhile to turn it on just to show it off. Show what it does. I was like, wow, it almost looked like you could dive in that stuff. And then I think with the waves were just more waves and stuff. Hopefully you can hear my voice. I've got very light background music going on. I don't even hear that too much, which is kind of good. I wished I'm still working on getting better at finding Creative Commons music, but I haven't got a lot. And this one I just decided to forget it. I was looking for some France stuff. On the few videos I did over Christmas with the Santa Claus, I did one with Santa's sleigh that somebody had built, and I think another Christmas one that I had out there, and oh no, that was American Truck Simulator Christmas. Anyway, you know, lost track of what I was trying to tell you about that. trying to tell you about the Christmas one. I was trying to tell you something else. Trying to pass on good info. Well, whatever. I got distracted. Sorry. If I think of it, I'll bring it up again. And I haven't even smoked anything. Speaking of smoking or having your brain fried, I read a joke. Not a joke about marijuana. It was like if a pregnant woman smokes a pound of pot per day, she's likely to give birth to a Snoop Dogg clone. Something like that. Even if it's not perfect, I think Photoreal just makes it, it's what makes it for me. Since I'm not, well, you know, I have learned to fly most aspects of the flying, but not all. I still have to work on my flight management control skills that, in a major way, don't do that very well. Oh, yeah, my point is, you know, and there's that aspect. I do like the aspect of, you know, definitely like to fly it right, fly the jets right, fly planes correctly. But for me, being able to, even if it's not perfect, you know, being able to see what real roads are there and real houses, even if they're probably off by a couple of feet or this and that, you know, misaligned a little bit. Yeah, it's really nice to see what a pilot really sees and to see what's really there instead of some stick road. This particular mission, in reality, if there's no, I had to take off with no road there, but if you got rid of the Photoreal, there's some phony road there that they put in, I guess either in the mission or it was the default road, I guess, was there when they made it. But it didn't hurt. I could take off in this thing. See, and you can, to a certain point, right here with the shadows, you know, that's even pretty 3D looking. Oh, and when I use Photoreal like this, most of them don't have auto-gen, but sometimes auto-gen can peek through in some cases. It does with, for sure, in a lot of cases with blue sky scenery. This is not blue sky. So because it, you know, it's different dimension in your whole, you know, your whole point of view and point of reference changes, and it just, you know, it's like, we all know that when you're flying high, there's one perspective. As soon as you get close to the airport, you're going to start looking at those buildings, and that's fine. But to have auto-gen buildings pop on there ruins the fact that at certain angles and in certain things, in the shadows, hey there, they shout it out.
Continue. Follow the road mainly in the valley to the next point of interest.
Yeah, they make it look. they look 3D. They kind of look like they're, as long as they're high enough and shadows are right, and comes in and out. Oh, I need to be commenting based on what we're seeing on the stream, not not what's playing, because the stream is about, looks like a minute at least, like a minute behind. So I apologize for some of the things I started talking about that may not have made sense to y'all at the time, because I'm watching it prior to, I'm watching the wrong screen. There's the kitty. Oh, now I see some lag myself. Yeah, that's not cool. I hope it straightens out. Not good. It's just lagging, isn't it? Oh, there it goes. Well, there it goes, but... well, I would have to put that, I'm going to chalk that up to just general internet lagging, potentially our switches here in this town or whatever. Oh, I hope it doesn't keep up though, and that would mean that we're just having a bad time momentarily here, I think, because, you know, a little high traffic. It is a weekday afternoon, so you're talking the internet everywhere is probably in high utilization. Because I'm not changing I haven't changed my settings. Ah, terrible. Oh, am I losing people because of that? I have not changed my settings, and I've had beautiful streams with this before. I don't think there's anything I should have to do. A lot of people have to realize that this... Ooh. Ooh, 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 yuck. But I think a lot of people have to realize that we're, even as technology gets faster and everything, we're always, mankind is essentially, at this point, still always at peak hours and anything, just pushing the hardware to its limits at this point. I'm sure that those switches and routers and all that stuff are just really have to, you know, are highly utilized. So that was our second stop. Back there. We're on our way to our third stop. See how clean that water is up there in France. Where did you come from? I'm going to give my cat some treats. There you go. Well, those who left are going to be missing some of the best parts of this, because this particular video, I think, in mission kind of got better and better. I thought, oh, it's going to be all the same, and up in the future, things change. the landscape changes. And it's a struggle to get way up in the air for a while. We're gonna have to climb to 7,500 feet, or almost, or I think I do go to 8,000 in a little bit. This is not going to be an extremely long stream. It's not tiny short, but I would say we'll be here another 30-40 minutes. Or maybe a little bit longer. I think it took me 2 hours. And we've already been doing this for about 40 minutes. Little boat ramps down there. Too much blurries right there. I'm just wondering why everything, sometimes it seems like things, it's just, if everything was shifted over like a foot, something that it would be perfect, because some areas seem like it's like, wait a minute, you know, that house can't be running down the side of that hill. There's something over there I was trying to eyeball. What was that? Yeah, being that the lag that was going on is not consistent, I think those were just some glitches in actual internet service. I really wish you didn't have to worry about copyright music, because sometimes I've thought of some really cool music to go along with some of these videos, you know, people that would just make it nice, but you can't do it. I have to learn to get the right kind of Creative Commons, because a lot of times they say, oh, it's all Creative Commons, but it's like, yeah, you put it in there and then they'll grab your video and say, you know, we're gonna make the money off of this because you got our song in it. No copyright problems, but we're gonna take your money. Of course, my channel is so small and just started, I don't have any money. I got in just before they changed that monetization thing, and I was monetized, but completely gone now. I don't have enough subscribers or views or anything, but trying to show the folks that I will be, you know, the channel's growing, 22 videos so far, and I will continue. Even when I get busier, I'll just, you know, make it a once a week thing or something. Hopefully I won't. Yeah, at this point in my life, I don't think I'm going to be getting, I don't know, I'll either get a job that's going to take all of my time, or hopefully at this point, you know, but it's going to have to pay well. Otherwise, I'm just going to say I'm done with trying to work up a corporate ladder thing, because that ain't, I just had people steal my work all my life. So I'm just gonna get us a job to that I can, you know, leave at work. But you don't want to now because layoffs. There are wonderful leaders selling all of our jobs to the lowest bidder in a foreign country. Because they love Americans so much. They love the people that they represent so much. Oh, well, I guess you could read into that statement, huh? Yeah, the real people they represent. Just doesn't happen to be the American people. Okay, we're coming up on our next stop, or our next flyover. No likeys, no likeys. Guess my channel will remain obscure. And that's just fine. Except for it would be nice to get some help and support. Get a new PC. Food in my mouth. If I don't get new work soon, I may have to use my channel to be like a, I don't know, that would probably go over like a lead balloon. Put a cardboard sign on my channel saying, you know, we'll fix your computer for food. Since we don't have to actually land, wasn't real concerned with being actually lined up.
Okay, now continue to follow the road mainly in a valley to the next point of interest.
If you like this video, check out my channel and check out some of the other videos on there. There are other Photo-real, and there's going to be more. There's Photo-real of areas in Washington. Yeah, but I got plans for a whole bunch of stuff that I have already flown, and I've seen some really cool stuff. and I wanted to share that with the world. Go back and do them again, only get them recorded. Doing these kind of flights, manual flights, and actually having to fly and watch and maintain, because sometimes I get blown around in this thing, and some planes are like really, really easy. Some just, you know, something like this can sometimes, well, just saying, doing it live sometimes can be hard to not crash if I get sidetracked talking to somebody, or, you know, it's either, hey, I can't talk and can't chat and can't share anything because I'm busy flying this thing. Not hard when you're, you know, if you're doing a stream like a lot of people do in a jet and everything, you know, you're on autopilot. Okay, I'm free to talk now. But manually flying something like this, you know, all I do, there's a few times even in here, I got busy doing something else, and the next thing I know, I turn around and about to hit the side of the mountain because the wind's blowing you to the left or the right or something. You know. I didn't know that these are views from the rear seat of this thing. I didn't know they even had a rear seat till I started hitting buttons. Big old ravine there. Somebody's house with a pool. Somebody's got a pool. Well, everybody's got pools. You need a pool for when you got a lake right there. I get it. Those look like a bunch of solar panels is what I was thinking. They could have been just homes. And this is just a little bit. There's a lot more. So we're on our way to Barcelonette. Barcelonette. 11 miles up here. What happened there? Oh, it might have been this thing is split and I've got it automatically going right to the next vid so that there's no break. In the stream, so I think that's might have been what just happened there. I think we just went to the second. There's actually this flight took 3 separate, you know, there's 3 separate videos. It's split twice. Hello, there it is. Oh no, there it is. Oh, you're not gonna see. You're gonna see in a second. Well, it's just a flash, and it moves right on to the next video. Oh, is this game available for the phone? No, it is not. Hi, Johan F. How you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Please give a like if you got a sec. Yeah, no, it's not available on a phone. Flight Simulator X is highly intensive phones don't even have enough power. Hey, this PC can bear it can do it, but I think if I laid any more on it, it wouldn't. And it's a quad core. Core 2 quad, running at 3 gigahertz, and this pretty much uses up its resources. It does it, but you know, just barely. So, where do we, so what are we doing today? Where do we, hail from? What state or country? That was cool. DK was from Denmark. Awesome. I gotta stop using that word. Everybody's criticizing everybody that uses that word. And it is inappropriate used for everything. It's just like, I think everybody's tired of the word cool. So we're like, well, let's take it a step up and call it awesome, but it's not awesome, it's just cool. Uh-oh, lost one again. I'm hoping YouTube, as they say, I found out that they say they're working on another studio or another editor. Maybe they thought the other one was too management intensive or something. They did something wrong. But I hope it works out, because I haven't gotten my head wrapped around the only other free, the best and probably the free editor was what am I thinking of? The editor. Not GIMP. That's like Photoshop replacement. What is that? Oh, Blender. Blender. The big, 4D gaming and has a great video editor, but it's, I haven't found, I started to try to get some, self-training, some YouTube videos on learning it. The guy wasn't very good. I didn't have his files, so you can't really follow him. And I've tried to follow him with other files and things that aren't working, and I just kind of like dropped it because it was, for a while. I just need to go back. It's going to be worthwhile to learn that, but it's not the easiest one to learn, that's for sure. Because obviously it's very powerful. And I don't have a big background in, huge background in video stuff, but now I understand overlays and transparencies, and just don't know how to do it that well. well, I left that, I try not to leave things on the screen, but I left that pointer up there way too long, didn't I? I wanted to put some French, I wanted to find some free French music since it's in France to do this, but I was having too hard of a time finding something enough. So I just said heck with it. I just throw together all this FSX music and let it play in the background. No thumbs up, so this video sucks, huh? As I'm learning to do this stuff, I try to get, you know, a variety of views, but I've kind of seen that I need to sometimes not change it so much. Sometimes it can't happen. You have to change. You're trying to get, you know, get through some, you know, toggle through some views, and it seems like you're just switching up us. You don't. But other times I still switch too fast, and I'm seeing you should just kind of let it ride for a while before you change up. What can I say about Flight Simulator? I can say about my channel. If you subscribe to my channel and you do have Flight Simulator, you will learn some things out of some of my videos. I have all the lessons on there that I did. I did the lessons that all up to your private pilot license, and some of those lessons always had bugs in them right from the very start when Microsoft put them out. And I remember reading articles way back then where some people were really complaining, and I was too, because it was a certain point where it just seemed like you were just like stuck. You couldn't really figure out what they wanted you to do. And I eventually found out what the bugs were. They had left out some wave files, and so they were only on an original disc somewhere, and you really can't get it, like a 2000 copy or something, and then trying to extract them, and it was a mess. So I just show people where the errors are at and tell you that, you know, which ones are missing, what to name them, and just record your own, what they were supposed to say, what the instructor was supposed to say to keep you on track. Yeah, one of those lessons you just like go, well, what? Now I'm done, or I feel like I'm done, and now I'm just flying around, and there's no end to it. So, like I say, that's not the only one. I give some pretty good tips on fixing a couple of these bugs in these missions. I love missions because, you know, they really, you got goals, they, you know. And a lot of people have created great missions to show you things, like this guy did. And Mr. Don Olsson, who created this mission. some other guys. I'll be doing some other missions of all those the dangerous airports, Alps 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's dangerous landings 1 and 2 that each have like 6 in them or something like that. And I'll be doing those eventually too, because some of them fall within some Photoreal. And those guys wrote those to give you a real good idea of, you know, either mountain flying or dealing with like Lukla, and really obviously the short dangerous airstrips. And some of them like trying to keep the thing in the air. I think I got one where they really push an ultralight like really high, and you're just barely able to keep that thing flying to get over some hill or something. So we're headed to, where are we headed now? We're heading to, I think Johan left. Where are we heading to? I think we hit Barcelonette, so now we're on this, going to Guillostre. I don't know how to pronounce it. Gulllos. Guillostre. So that's the second. We're heading to the second to last one here. I need to slow down on these views, huh? I'm just moving all around and it's not good. I'll get better. You cannot change those views so much. Oh no, we're still on our way to Barcelonette. We're almost there. And then we have 2 more stops after this one. Anybody's out there enjoying this at all? Everybody, can you spare a like? Get me get this video to move a little higher on the results list. Maybe someday I get enough views and enough subscribers to finally get monetized, but not looking good so far. I'm wondering if those mountains were like all mined out. They seem like they're all kind of to be scooped out and gray underneath there. Maybe they were like a mine of some sort. Maybe it's just the way the mountains are. And then there's some sort of rock. Alright, here's the next party tent and crowd. We'll have to say I didn't do it, but on one of the test runs, if you fly right over the top of these guys, instead of cheering for you, I think I was testing, I'm gonna have to go back and go onto the airport, because again, the misalignment of the airports due to the fixes and elevations and stuff. So, but as I was saying, if you go right over the top of them, instead of cheering for you, they'll scream bloody murder, like you're gonna, because they say you're gonna come down and kill them all. Who's that say with American? I just bunch of people with American trucks in. Yeah, those trucks in, man. I was a couple times. I'm just going. This is like just too real, because you'll be doing, driving on, or almost get an accident or something, and it's like, oh, mine's just like in a car. My heart's just about to go through. My heart's going through my chest. It didn't, because it really feels like, oh, I don't want to hit that. Few situations I'm going, oh my god, I don't know if I can do this, because, and in some ways it was like, wait a minute, this is stressful as driving. Actual real driving is not stressful to me, but it can, it can be, it's really kind of stressful. It can be if you, in a lot of traffic and somebody starts to hit you, your heart jumps. And a few times in the sim, I've gone, oh no, I better not play this. It's gonna kill me, give me a heart attack. One of the biggest reasons I want and need to get upgraded, get this PC upgraded, first things I do after I get out of this bad slump I'm in, is get the PC upgraded and get the, what's it called? There is an awesome 3D virtual reality program for flight simulator now that works with Vive and Oculus, and Frugal Sim says it's really, really, really good. And I've checked out both my phone and my PC, and neither one of them have enough oomph for VR. And at this point, VR is like, I think, only the most expensive machine in very few things. Whatever's running on it now it's still early, and if it is really good, it's going to max it out. But I think later on in this year and maybe next year, I think people are saying about 2020, really, for VR to go down. But the software is already there. If I had the money, you can do it right now if you got the money. I'm looking at about something like $2-3 grand, even if I built my own PC. I've never bought a PC. I build my own all the time. Build them for companies. Okay. Yeah, so now we're heading for Guillostre. Guillostre, second to the last stop. Up and around the corner. Yeah, if you like sims or driving simulations, I do recommend. Definitely recommend American Truck Simulator. Probably Euro Truck Simulator 2 also. But it's awesome. I'm going to get that next. Too. Although I learned some today, their mods and stuff, which I thought it would be better to go through their workshop all the time, because then you get updates and it's all linked together. Steam Workshop. But I had the all the physics mods and the air ride, so that your seat, so that it kind of acted like your seat was bouncing over bumps when you hit it. And son of a gun, I started the other day and they're gone. And ended up doing the research and finding out that well, the author just decided to pull all his stuff. I'm going, well, it turned out it's like at least these two didn't have any major hooks that caused anything to, you know, totally die, but or anything. But it was just like, oh, well, lost that, and I have to remove the reference to them. So that wasn't right. And so I learned through the guys that if I had have moved them into the place where you put other ones that don't come from the workshop, then you wouldn't have lost it. But again, then the drawback on that is you wouldn't get updates. You'd be manually doing them, going, okay, now we're getting a hassle, and I don't know about this model. These models they put out where you're basically chasing the I don't know, it just seems like it should be more user-friendly. That's kind of why I was like, I just thought, oh wow, Truck Simulator's made it easy for these things, but they made it easy, but I don't know much. Yeah, I shouldn't really talk about it. They don't know that much about it yet. Flight Simulator definitely takes I haven't even, I don't know everything about it, but over many years, and quite a few things. And it's not a it's not a game for people who just gonna, or it's not a thing for people who don't like to pay attention to detail and to and to tweak and mess with and learn how it works. If they just want to plug it in and play, simulators aren't really good for that. I would not say that American Truck Simulator is a full-blown simulator either. It's half sim, half game. Although maybe I could be wrong about that too, because pure simulators would say it's not about sceneries and it's not about that. It's about, you know, it's about the plane and operating the plane. And truckers will probably say it's about the truck. And that's what I say too. So why can't I turn on the radio and the heater? You know, I mean, all those things. Why don't the buttons in the truck work? Apologize for some cases again because of this little computer. I think I get more blurries and I just can't do anything about it. It's the limits of the PC. I try to get it high enough. Actually, I didn't on this one. That's probably why I'm. That's just the hindsight. It was like, oh, you should have paid a little more attention. And like right here, I should have been stayed a little higher. Given how all this stuff works, I wonder if a 1080, you know, an i7, a fast i7, and a 1080 would be, you know, way ahead of this all the time. Not even so sure that you wouldn't have to have, in addition to that, everything coming off an SSD drive. Which, if you you know, got a big enough one for lights and all your add-ons, it'd be hella expensive. I think, what do I have? Is it a terabyte? I have 3 terabyte hard drives. Single terabyte. One for my root drive and all kinds of business apps. One for flight simulator and one for alone. The other one I got Truck Simulator and some other stuff on. And it's not very much of my archive personal files, stuff like that. Yeah, I need all of that terabyte, all of it, and probably more eventually. For all the add-ons with Flight Simulator. I can't believe I have my old laptop. I haven't used it for, jeez, I don't know, a couple of 3 months. And it just was powered down. A couple of months, not 3, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe we hit 3. And boy, I turned that thing on, and I gotta tell you, man, if you don't have especially since most laptops still have pretty slow hard drives. You know, if you turn your laptop, leave it off for a month with Windows 10, it took it 24 hours to really be available to me again. Just for it to get through it was really slow downloading the updates, and it was in the middle of the night. It shouldn't have been that slow. It was really slow. It just, you know, getting it together. Then after it said it was done, it was still just doing all kinds of stuff. And I don't think it was a complete 24. I think I went to sleep in there, but it was like, oh my God, I can't use this. Put it down. like 8 hours sleep. Got up, it was like it had gone to sleep and it still wasn't done with the updates. And finished those off, and it was just a terribly long time. It's like, oh, we haven't seen this guy. We're going to inventory his thing and their telemetry and all that. And it's like, man, I don't want to deal with that. If I was still working in IT support, I'd be like majorly having to explain to my bosses, there ain't nothing we can do about, you know, I mean, of course, just, that stuff's probably all turned off in the enterprise. I've been in IT for 20 years, been through most of the, more than 20 years, through most every operating system there is, until, as far as literally, you know, working machines, putting images together, or whatever it was, from DOS to Windows 3.0 and 3.1 and 95, 98, and through actual, you know, upgrades in a corporate environment for all of those, until got laid off just as Windows 10 was coming off. So I have not had to deal with the Windows 10, you know, turning everything off and all the things that you had to do with Windows 10. But as a home user, man, are they intrusive. This might have been more interesting if I did some research on France, huh? Maybe I could have talked about France and what we were seeing a little bit better. You get a little history on things. Jump around a bit here, huh? I also deleted one of my streams and videos that didn't turn out, even after it was a successful live streaming. Actually, there were people there and we had a lot of fun that night. I had a lot of fun with people that were there. But I didn't realize, since I'm such a teeny tiny obscure channel, I'm limited to 4 hours. I think it went like 5 hours or something. And the whole first hour, which is important to the thing, whatever, you know, it just all was cut off. It was just gone. And yeah, I just decided, heck with it, it was ruined, and deleted it. So, learned something new on that one, being a new streamer, you know. Okay, don't make them over 4 hours for you. That's ridiculous anyway. Even these videos are to people that watch them, because I don't see people maybe checking out parts of it, whipping through them, you know, seeing if there's something interesting, but not sitting and watching. People don't have that much time. smaller videos with just a specific little blurb about something, probably do better. But some people can appreciate the stuff that in some cases it's kind of like me, like getting in a car or something. It's like a sleep video sometimes. Not with all this music junk in the background, but sometimes the hum of the plane almost like start a flight and it'll put me to sleep. Okay, I gotta do a little trick here. Pretty quick. Oh, maybe not. It's coming up on Guillostre, which is this tiny place up here, up on the side of this hill. And we'll see the crowd. I think, and this is where Oop. Sorry. What am I doing? Again, I don't like it. I can just tell, keep myself reviewing. Moving around too much is not a good thing. Changing views too much too quickly, or not enough. I know there's a balance there. Huh? Oh, you know what happens there? Oh, hang on a sec. Oh, shoot. Oh, sorry. So sorry. Oh, there we go. Sorry, there was a split there. Anyway, what I did... Oh, you're going to see a split. Sorry, I'm watching the wrong video.
Okay, now continue to follow the road mainly in a valley to the next point of interest.
There, this little flip that comes up here, it's because occasionally when you're using this mouse view to be able to look around, you cannot touch your hat switch, which is where you know the other thing to look, because they're in conflict. So when you kind of see it all of a sudden flipped there, or it was like really fast, it looked like a cut in the film, like, oh, you cut that. It's like, no, I didn't cut it. This was done all. It's not a, you know, I'm only live right now, and this is a recording because, well, as I told you, I can't record, fly, and stream. The stream breaks it. There's not enough oomph in my machine. So for now, I'm stuck with making the flights, recording them, and then, or it would just be god awful. And cats. Anyway, that was. Now this gets a little tough. Not too bad, but actually This is where you can crash in this one if you don't. I think I do attempt to go up, then I come back out of it before I knew. If I didn't get some altitude here, you just end up going into the side of this mountain or on this road, this highway. I think I dropped here once. It was just like, not high enough one. Yeah, I thought that this last stop at Cordelou was crazy because I thought it was going to be another, airstrip, but it's not. We're just like on the top of a mountain. Like the discovery, okay, of these real places. Some of these places, I've found some places like, I gotta go there forever close to some of these. And it's even here in my own state. It's like, oh my gosh, look how beautiful that is. And it's like probably a few hours away from me. I need to go there. Hope everybody's having a good day. It is, wow, it's already 3:30. I wonder what they call these little townships. I don't know what that's what I should have done. Future, I should take a little more time. See what these cities are and stuff. I can say that is, so and so, so and so, and they're, do a little Google searching on some of this stuff beforehand, and I could talk about it and learn. You can see this road obviously looks like some sort of water thing that people go and swim in, or maybe it's, maybe it's the water supply of a little town, huh? Probably is. Well, but everybody knows everybody in that town. I bet it gets cold during the winter too. Cold. Anybody see that video of that guy who, there's a video of a guy doing, talking about the future with, the dream of, that people have thought of before, of putting FSX together, or with Google Earth, or having it work at least with Google, interface with Google Earth. Not the way that there are right now, where they just, you can see where your plane's at on Google Earth with some marker. That's about all it does now. But he literally had a test flight, and they said with this new Google Earth, and it was like, wow, that's like flying in the real city. That when that gets out, if it gets out and it works well, what else could you need, Of course, even Google Earth doesn't have every place. A lot of it, but mostly, even if it has general photographs in some other countries, it doesn't have the road following it at all. In many cases. I'm not doing this to fly to say, some sort of crazy good flying. It's not about the flying. Of course, it's easy to fly in ultralight. It's about it going slow enough to kick back and enjoy the scenery in detail. Take a fast plane through there, and yeah, it still looks good, but it's in and out in no time. Kind of like the difference between driving all the time and then you ride a bicycle once in a while and go, oh, gee, you notice so much more when you ride a bike or when you walk. So yeah, it breaks out of that, come back down this hill. We're not going down the hill. That's where I made a mistake here. I'm going down the hill, and I really need to be high, so higher up. I just did this a little bit just before the stream. In a minute, I'm going to have to start climbing again. And the grand finale is the craziest landing I've ever done. I thought I was going to wreck. But somehow I managed it. There's no airstrip up here. Or I didn't see it. Big old windy road and the people there, and it's like, where do I land this thing? And you're supposed to land it, or you don't get your success and don't get your badge or your reward. I'm hoping, cross my fingers. I played the in American Truck Simulator. They had the whole Christmas gifts event contest. And if you finish it, you can get typical Steam stuff, but some things in your game. But this year, 5 people out of every, I think, 2 groups for each of the games, American and European. So I don't have European, so I've only got 2 entries. So you get 2 entries, and 5 people are going to win software from SCS Software in their software store. If I get lucky, I can get ETS get European tricks in there for free. As soon as the contest is over on the 22nd, and I don't know when they're going to announce the winners. Yeah, I'd have to check. So that's your French Alps in the summertime. I think it's summertime. Some parts of it, just not all of it by any means. Or maybe it is. The French you have to remember the French, the Swiss, and the German section of this whole mountain range, I guess. So this could be all of the French side as far as I know, but I don't know. Not too much longer. Oh, there are Col de Izoard, or pronouncing it wrong, I'm sure. 10 miles up the road here at 7,596 feet, and I think around here is where I notice I go, oops. I'm gonna look down here in a minute and go, oh, I'm like at 5,500, or I got $2,000 in elevation we've got to come up with in the next 9.9 miles. And if people are just watching on their phones, it may look okay, but you don't even get, you're not even getting how pretty it is and how cool it is on a big screen. There's way much detail that you probably wouldn't in general pick up. It's going to be like a dot on your screen, as to where at least it's a, you know, a big square or something. I have a, what I got? I got a 24-inch Samsung. I really like this monitor. It had a good style. It was a T240. Pretty old now, but it has a really nice, that really nice reddish, clearish casing, and a touch. You just have to swipe your finger across the front of it to turn it on and off, and it has this little, I don't know, just looks like a little, whatever, the light is, just looks like a little cloud, red cloud at the bottom of the thing. But I've always liked it. It's a good monitor. Is anybody here, you're obviously on Steam or familiar with Steam, is anybody here gotten that Steam, not the VR, but it's the thing that makes it, it's a joystick and box that makes it to where it'll, you hook your computer into it and your TV into it. In your, like, you know, 42-inch TV, and you can supposedly play your Steam games on your TV, and it's not necessarily a smart TV. It's like the box, I think, probably is what makes it, you know, there's a smart interface. Because I was thinking about it, and when I get back on my feet again, I was thinking about giving it a try. It was on sale for about, both pieces for about $40 this year. Because if I could do that, well, I just gotta be limits. I don't know how it would work. You know, it'd be great to, you don't use a, it'd be weird to use a controller and not a flight stick. Yeah, to try to watch it, to try to do this on a really big screen. Guess not. It's a little while to get here on this last 8 miles because we can't get there directly. We just follow that arrow straight in, we'd be, you know, obviously on the side of that mountain. Now see, I couldn't have done this, or wouldn't do this, at least with, you know, if anybody thinks this is boring now, just try to just look at it with your standard default scenery, and it's like, yeah, whatever, same patterns over and over again, and maybe the heights are okay, but they don't even really, even with the corrections, their standard textures don't really form. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it forms the correct objects correctly. Of course, even here with Photoreal, we know what the problem with anything that is straight up or straight down. You're laying these photos over the top of a very rigid side. You'd have to go through. It's like, it'd be nice if, for all those like edges that just end up being a big blur, if you could go through and patch them with pictures that were of a side view. But the other thing I was thinking of was the thinking of. I didn't sleep well last night. My brain ain't working good today. I think I was like, I feel like I was stoned or something, and I ain't. But I'm just not, I keep on thinking of stuff and forgetting. It keeps popping out of my head. Maybe it's nervous. Oh, okay. I see somebody finally saying hello. What? No, it's not. What? 17K. It's. Oh, you're answering that, guys. Yeah. Yeah, he's gone. I think he's gone. Oh no, it's only for Windows. Fly Inside. Is it Fly? I'm thinking that the flyinside.com. That's the 3D. I think it's called Fly Inside. The virtual reality program for Flight Simulator. I just can't wait. It's already there. I just have to, between the software and the hardware, it looks like about $800. It's too spendy right now. You can build a whole PC for that. And most VR I don't like, and of course, at all. Most of the new games are just silly and don't have decent graphics, but it's coming, it's getting there. Insiders say 2020. But I would, I mean, it's perfect for flight simulator, and they did it. And somehow it makes your frame rates even better. Instead of being reversed, this is a slow frame rate game. And VR requires 90 frames per second, and somehow the technology of that program somehow can double the frame rates. It's like, wow. I guess as it comes to you through the VR. Well, I would imagine it's technology that probably takes, you know, takes snapshots of what it's seeing and then just duplicates them and adds onto it probably, and makes it look more high def. I don't know. I would imagine something like that. Found out my phone can't do VR because it doesn't have a gyro. And when you learn about phones, people go, oh, this phone's inexpensive. Yeah, they don't tell you that, yeah, your phone's inexpensive because it doesn't have a gyro or a compass in it. Which is good for some things. And, you know, I could care less really on my phone. But somebody went over the Christmas, you know, Walmart was dumping all those VR headsets, $5 and stuff, just because they're trying to get people, you know, pumped up, or to sell them the Garbo right now. And that's how I found out my phone wouldn't work with anything but watching a 3D movie or something. And frankly, I was not impressed. First of all, you shouldn't be able to see any kind of view, you know, when you go to a 3D movie. If you block out the sides of the theater and you see the only thing, now you get really immersion. Immersion is the word I'm looking for. Get really immersed, and you can't do it if you can see that. And the 3D movies I saw were putting on these little things and putting on your phone. It's like, it's still tiny and doesn't just, you know, just doesn't look that good. So it's like the minimum of decent VR is one of those two sets that are out now, and they're still too expensive for the average person for what they are. They're at that point, like, you know, we're only those who's got money to throw away on little toys that they may not even use for very long. Okay, we're gonna get there pretty quick. Oh, yeah. Say this is a fun, crazy, well, it's quick, no big deal, but I was surprised I landed. I was like, I was gonna go up and turn around, and I was like, close enough. I just said, go for it, and it worked out. Because again, there is no runway up here. And there are people in tents in the way. Oh, remembered. This picture just made me remember what I forgot a little bit earlier. That I was talking about Photo-real and its ups and downs. This here you can kind of see where when it comes to the very top, I was talking about straight up and down surfaces, when it comes to the very tops of things and trees and things, sometimes the layover, it has that kind of like it laid over and fell over. Look at these kind of like dripping. I don't think that's, you know, really right. I think it's an effect that comes out of laying those photos over the top of things that just doesn't always work out. It kind of looks like they have hair or something, you know, hanging off going over the side. That's why your trees sometimes look like they're pointing downwards or something if they're on the very tips of steep hills. Because of probably you are. You got a photograph with trees that are all, you know, pointed up, and then you stick it over the side of that, and now they're pointing down or sideways. This here is not easy to fly because we're kind of up here and see, oh, it looks like, I don't think I had too hard of a time, but it's, yeah, I think I was like, I'm too low, and I think I just stalled there. You know, just about stalled. So I'm kind of going back around to gain a little more altitude before we try to go up that side. I think I was a little low still. I knew I was, like I said earlier, it's like, oh, you know, I'm at 65 and we need to be at 75. I still got 1,000 feet to, we got 1,000 feet to climb, and I'm in 4.3 miles. Yeah. Of course, we're in a tiny ultralight, and I'm going very fast, so 45 miles per hour. 50 sometimes. Oh, 38 right there. I'm glad this is getting over. I gotta go get something to eat. I'm starving. I'm gonna be starving here. It is lunchtime. So, what is it? Should I give it all up, or should I do more of these? What do you say? Anybody else just gonna say anything? Why don't I play X-Plane 11? I don't have, it has rose textures and frame pace is very good, like 60 view. Well, just a matter of the fact that you know, I've had Flight Simulator for over, you know, 10 since it came out, and so I've done a ton of add-ons and a ton of tweaks and learning about it, and I like its flexibility. What I don't like about X-Plane is you're stuck with whatever they get. You're going to pay through the nose for every single thing you get. Hey, got money, you know, got a lot of money, no problem. Even Flight Simulator, you know, the add-ons, you can go on the Steam, it's like $3,000 with add-ons. Are you crazy? Whatever, just all the work and all the history that's already been done. And, you know, I might get, I might eventually, it probably will. But yeah, it just wasn't a high priority. I was working on, you know. I'm only kind of doing this, having the time to do this because of losing work. My job was, oh, got a little lag there, sorry, I can see that. I don't think it's me, I think it's the internet being kind of piled on right now. I'm not sure you're even hearing that. That's terrible. Oh, you don't, you didn't need to retract it. Yeah. I like X-Plane 11 from what I've seen on the videos and stuff. Some of it, you know, especially I think it's 64-bit, isn't it? Which is a big plus, I think. Oh, it's not 64-bit? Oh, no, that's somebody else saying no, it's not. This stream is losing it, isn't it? What has happened to the stream? I'm pausing this. I'm pausing the video because the stream is toast. Oh, there it goes. Hey, so, oh. What's going on with the internet? If you can hear me now, I'm apologizing for this, those delays there, the lag. Don't think it's me. I think it's just the internet. A temporary slowdown, hopefully. Yeah, this has been on. We have been live for a while. Anyway, for a second there, I paused the. We're almost done, but I paused it because while it was delayed. So you're going to see a little pause here in a minute, I think. Anyway, I don't know if Shunk 3000 heard me or not, but because of that delay, I was saying, just in case you didn't know, I was saying, I just haven't had the money and or the time, and I've already had this program for 10, 11 years in 2 different versions. I had the box version, and I would have never got Steam version, even though I am glad I did, and I like the fact that, well, let me finish. My box version, I had to, over the last 11 years, I'd had to one time completely restart over Flight Simulator after, with a massive amount of work and of all these add-ons and fixes I've done to planes, and I mean, just hundreds and hundreds of them, and start all over again. Go to my archive. Everything I've ever downloaded add-on is like insert, is archived off, so I could start it over, rebuilding it. And then just last year, at some point, I had a major crash, and I had backups. The reason why I was able to restore so many times, I was able to easily fix because I keep backups of my system. Just do one at the end of every month. And but what I had started doing was using Windows backup. It's free, and I know how to use it. I know how it works, and it's very reliable when you know how it works. But I didn't know that you cannot use Windows backup to back up 2 different computers onto the same external drive, because it will just it won't mess with the image portion, but all of your data files from one machine, you know, you'll back it up, be all fine. You back up your second machine, all your data files get wiped out from the other machine and replaced with this one. So you essentially, you know, you've only got an image, the image portion. So it wouldn't restore, and I was going to have to start over again. And the box version requires activation, and Microsoft refused. They refused. Now here, see, you think it was going to crash, and I went, oh, look, I just barely made it up that hill. Kind of just landed right on the top there. And if you were, I'm going to look back here in a little bit. You see, there's no. It was only a road. There's no. And I just came over the top of them and landed right there, and got the success. So there you go. To end the story real quick before the video ends, and we'll end the stream. They refused to do it. I got all mad at them, and they hung up on me. It was like, you can't do that to me. And well, I had to break down, and you know, it was done. I couldn't get it to work. And you cannot buy the box version and install it to this day. They will not activate it. You better have a hacked version somehow. So, but you know, well, in Flight Simulator enough, I had all the stuff. I had knowledge, still had all my stuff, so I just put Steam in, and I like it because now, if it dies, Steam automatically, you know, gets it, will restore it. I may lose, you know, I'm sure in certain cases I'd probably lose some of the add-ons, but the core would still be there. Alrighty, so there we go. Hello. Hello, so, no. Well, I'm saying you have it, but you're not quite caught up with me yet. But you will be soon. I'm sitting there talking to you. Oh, look at that landing, and you haven't seen it yet. Oh, it's coming. So, I'm just showing standby screen right now. While this catches up, I'll chop that off of the end of the archive when I turn this into a standard video. Again, if you like this thing and you want to learn, I got some tips and tricks on Flight Simulator. I have a lot of, about 22 vids now. Check it out. If you like this one, check out some of my other Photoreals, some of my other stuff, please, and give me some love and thumbs up and stuff. Maybe somebody might notice this stuff and appreciate it. I think it's a little different than some other people's take on it. I mean, I try to create, and I'm trying to try to create a mixture of things. And subscribe for notifications when I upload.